There is a practice amongst our Shonim to connect the end of the Torah with the beginning of the Torah. Parshas V'zos HaBracha, which we learned only a few days ago, and we completed another cycle of Torah, somehow connects to the beginning of the Torah, which we're going to continue learning this week with Parshas Noach. What's the connection? I once heard an amazing explanation from Rabbi Pinchas Roberts. Noach was criticized by Chazal for being what's known as a tzaddik in pelts, a tzaddik in a fur coat, because there are two ways to warm a room. Either you build a fire and that warms everybody, or you put a fur coat on where you warm yourself but not others. And Noach, Kfi Madrigaso, is criticized for being a tzaddik in pelts, for worrying about his own and not being successful in trying to encourage the rest of his society to listen to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to change their ways. And therefore there was a shortcoming. The Kasha Rav quotes Chazal, who say that Moshe Rabbeinu was a Gilgul of Noach. One of his jobs was to rectify the shortfalls of Noach and to somehow demonstrate remarkable selflessness to counter and to rectify the tzaddik in pelt attitude of Noach. How do you see this? Well, what was the high point of Moshe Rabbeinu's selflessness? It appears essentially in the very end of last week's Sedra, at the end of V'zos HaBracha. How so? Because the final pasuk of the entire Torah essentially is the epitaph of Moshe Rabbeinu. It's what you would have found on his matzeva. Says the pasuk, "L'chol hayad hachazaka l'chol hameira hagadla asher asa Moshe le'enei kol Yisrael." Says Rashi, each phrase refers to one of his great achievements. Says Rashi, "L'chol hayad hachazaka shekibel es haTorah beluchos biyodov." Hayad hachazaka refers to the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave Moshe Rabbeinu the luchos and he took them with his hands. L'chol hameira hagadol, that refers to Nisim v'Gvura shebamidbar hagadol v'Hanora, all the remarkable miracles that Moshe Rabbeinu facilitated for the Jewish people throughout their journey in the Midbar. Le'enei kol Yisrael, the final words of the Torah, says Rashi, she'nosu libo lishbar haluchos le'eneihem, that he chose to break the luchos le'eneihem. Le'enei kol Yisrael refers to the fact that he broke the luchos in front of them. He came down from the mountain and he smashed the luchos in front of the Jewish people. And Rashi says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu agreed, Asher shibarta yash kocha shibarta. Why was that such an accolade, such a great achievement of Moshe Rabbeinu? It's almost like an anticlimax. You come to the end of the Torah, Le'enei kol Yisrael, what does that refer to? Moshe Rabbeinu broke the luchos. What it refers to is this. Moshe Rabbeinu's life mission was to lead the Jewish people, to bring them out of Mitzrayim, and to give them the Torah, and to get them ready to go into Eretz Yisrael. His first 80 years was training for that very leadership role. He then goes into the lion's den and pleads and negotiates and begs Paro to let the people go. Eventually, with the Makkos, he brings them out, and then he goes up to Shemayim, he battles with Malachim, he gets the Torah, and to his dismay, when he wants to give them the Torah, the Erev Rav are dancing around the golden calf. And he decides to break the luchos. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'll start again, I'm so dismayed that I'll start again, and with you, Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe Rabbeinu demonstrates amazing selflessness. He says, "Mecheni no mesifrecha," erase me from your book. In other words, it's either me with the Jewish people, and if you're going to destroy the Jewish people, I'm out of here. You can delete me from your sefer. Mecheni no mesifrecha. Says the Kasha Rav, the words mecheni also spell the words mei noach. If it wasn't Rosh Chodesh, this Shabbos, the Haftorah would have learned that the Shaya says that the waters of the flood are called mei noach, as if to attribute some sort of guilt to Noach, that he's to blame. Moshe Rabbeinu saying Mecheni no mesifrecha and demonstrating amazing selflessness, it's a tikkun, it's a rectification of the main Noach, the guilt and the shortfall of Noach. You see therefore that a person can be mesakin by demonstrating selflessness, and that's exactly what Moshe Rabbeinu does in last week's Sedra, and that's the connection between the end and the beginning of the Sefer.